Today, day 1 of Navaratri, we are going to make Pal Kesari as the Naivedyam or Bhog for Devi Maa. For that, I have taken 1 cup of Semolina or Sooji Rava, Bombay Rava, the regular one which we use for making upma. For that, I have taken 3 cups of milk and I am bringing it to a boil over here. To this boiled milk, we will add a few strands of saffron and keep it ready. Now first heat a tablespoon of ghee. Here I have about 10 or 12 cashew nuts which are broken into bits and a few raisins. We will fry them first. When the cashews start changing color, we will add the raisins too. Now drain out the fried cashews and raisins onto a plate. In the same kadai, add this 1 cup of rava and fry it well over a low flame till you get a good aroma. See, after about 5 or 6 minutes, the rava would have roasted well. Now you will take this hot milk and carefully add it into this roasted rava, stirring it all the time. If you are a beginner, one tip is to use a whisk like this. This way no lumps are formed, and mix it very well till all the milk is absorbed and it becomes nice and creamy, and the rava should also be well cooked. See, all the milk is absorbed and we can check if the rava is also well cooked. For 1 cup rava, I have taken about 1.5 cup sugar. You can even take 1 1/4 cup sugar, that will also do, depending on your sweetness level. 1 1/4 to 1.5, not more than that, then it will become excessively sweet. And again mix it all well together. Remember, you must add the sugar only after the rava is well cooked. When you add the sugar, initially it will again become liquid. So continue cooking it till it comes together. Now we can start adding the ghee little by little. First I added 1 tablespoon while frying the cashew nuts. Now another 2 to 3 tablespoons we can add at intervals and keep on mixing it. Now I added 1 more tablespoon of ghee. Again mix it together. Again cook it till all the ghee is absorbed and it should just leave the sides and come. Now I have added the last tablespoon of ghee and you can see how it is leaving the sides and coming. Now at this stage you can switch it off. If you like, you can even add a little bit of cardamom powder for flavor and give it a good mix once again. Now we will add the fried cashews and raisins on top. Now this is ready to be offered as Bhog or Naivedyam. Namaste. One of our subscribers, Pooja Sinha, had written an email to me a couple of months back asking me to do a series on the role of women in the context of Navaratri. So that is the theme I have taken this year for Navaratri. See, in Navaratri we worship Maa Durga in 9 different forms for each day of Navaratri. And this has got a definite relationship with the role as we women play, be it as a child, a student, a wife, a mother, a homemaker, and the people whom we deal with in the outside world, even if you are a career person, how you deal with certain negative energies too and completely come out successful. So, the first day of Navratri, we pray to Maa Durga as Shailputri. Shaila means mountain, Putri means daughter. So we pray to her as the daughter of the mountains, or she is the daughter of the king of mountains who was Himavan. So she is already also known as Parvati because she is Parvata Rajakumari, so Parvati. So these are her different names, and in the form of Parvati, she is very compassionate and nurturing too. And as Shailaputri, she shows great height and perseverance. As Parvati, she has two sons, namely Ganesha and Kartikeya. Now, before we go on to the story of Parvati, Parvati in her previous incarnation was born as Sati. Sati was the daughter of Daksha Prajapati. He was a great king. Now, from her childhood, Sati was deeply devoted to Shiva and was keen on marrying Shiva. And her father was totally against it because she had been brought up in a princely way. And he said, how can Shiva, a poor ascetic living in the mountains with ashes smeared all over his body, how can he be a suitable alliance for my daughter? No, that's not possible. But Sati was very insistent, and she said she would marry none other than Shiva. So finally her parents relented and she got married to Shiva. Then, as all we women, especially in Indian culture, do, she moved over to Mount Kailash and set up her home there with Shiva. Now, one day she heard that her father, King Daksha, was preparing for a great yajna. Yajna means a religious congregation, we can say, where there is a sacrificial fire also, and all the important people were invited. He had invited all the VIPs and all the devas. But when Sati came to know of this through somebody else, she was a little bit surprised that nobody had told her from her house. She was not yet invited. But as days went by, she longed to go to her parents' home, especially when such a big event was taking place. So she requested Shiva. She said, let us also go and attend the function. After all, it's taking place in my father's house. Let's go and attend the function. But Shiva dissuaded her from attending the function. He told Sati, no, it is not correct. Let us not go. It will not be right because, simply put, we have not been invited. So that means your father, the king, will not be happy with our presence. So let us not attend the function. But Sati, her heart was set on going and she was sulking a bit. And then finally she says, okay, at least allow me to go. If you don't come, it's all right. At least allow me to go and enjoy this time in my parents' house when such a big yajna is taking place. So he says, all right, do as you please. If you want to go, you go ahead. And then Sati proceeds to her parents' house, thinking that she would enjoy herself very happily during this grand event. But unfortunately, when she reaches there, to her surprise, she finds that nobody is ready to even welcome her there. Her own sisters don't even give her a second glance. And her father also ignores her. It is only her mother Prasuti who embraces her and welcomes her. And even in that large, say the auditorium which Daksha Prajapati has prepared and seats for all the important VIPs, there are seats for everyone else, but no seat for his own son-in-law Shiva. Not only that, during the course of the celebration, on many occasions, Daksha insults Shiva, that too right in front of Sati and in front of all the distinguished guests gathered there. So after a certain time, Sati feels very insulted and she cannot bear it anymore. And she announces that in such a place where there is no respect for her husband, She just does not want to continue being present there, and she jumps into the sacrificial fire, the yajna over there, and immolates herself in the Yogagni. The news, everybody over there is stunned by Sati's action. The news immediately spreads to Shiva. Shiva is also equally devoted and affectionate to Sati, and so he cannot bear to think of what has happened. He immediately invokes the Veerabhadra form, a terrifying form, and he just rushes towards Daksha's yajna and goes about destroying everything in his sight. He destroys the yajna, he cuts off Daksha's head. Shiva is then very angry and he carries this half burnt corpse of Sati, his wife, and just goes about the universe because he cannot bear to part with her even after death. Seeing this, the gods are scared, and Vishnu, it is said that Vishnu with his Sudarshan chakra, he cuts off various parts of her body and they fall at different places, and wherever any particular part has fallen, that is called as a Shakti Peetam. There are 52 Shakti Peetams in India, and then it is said that Vishnu then fixes a ram's head on Daksha's head and brings him back to life, and then King Daksha is able to complete the yajna. Now, in the next incarnation, Sati is now born as Shailputri on the first day of Navratri as we worship her, and as we have seen, she is the daughter of the king of mountains, so she is also known as Parvati. Parvati also, she is again very devoted to Shiva, and in this incarnation too, she gets married to Shiva once again, and she is praised in all her glory as Shailputri. Now, if we look at a beautiful composition of Adi Shankara, which is known as the Saundarya Lahari, where he praises Devi Maa from top to toe, and there the very first shloka of Saundarya Lahari goes like this. It says, Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitum Na Chedevam Devo Na Khalu Kushalaha Spanditumapi Atastvam Aradhyam Harihara Virinchadibirapi Pranantum Stotum Va Khatamakrita Punya Prabhavati. So he says, only when Shiva is yoked with Shakti, that is, Shakti is energy. Only when that energy is yoked with Shiva, Shiva here we are talking of that Parameshwara, does even Shiva get the energy to even vibrate or oscillate. Spanditum. Spanditum means even move a bit, move an inch. Even that oscillation or vibration is possible for such a great person as Shiva only when he is yoked with Shakti. If he is not yoked with Shakti, Shiva does not have the ability to rule over all the worlds. And everybody offers their hymns and prostrations to Shakti, that is Devi Maa. Apart from everybody else, even Harihara Virinchi, Hari is Vishnu, Hara is Shiva, Virinchi is another name for Brahma. They also prostrate at your feet. Pranantum stotava Khatamakrita Punyam Bhavati. So, is such a prostration possible if they have not accrued any punya from their earlier births? What does it mean? Only when a person has accrued a lot of punya from his earlier births will he have the ability to even prostrate before Shakti, sing her praises, do her puja, recite her shlokas. It is nothing but Devi's grace. She is the one who controls the entire universe, the movement of all the planets, all the energies around. So every little thing is controlled by Shakti only. Even the great Shiva earns his place and prestige only when united with Shakti. So it just goes to show that if today we are all present here, singing Maa's praises, chanting her shlokas, talking about Devi, it is only because of the accrued merits of our previous births and by the grace of Devi Ma that we are able to do this today. Our Paramacharya has so beautifully explained that in the word Shiva itself, the E matra, the Ikara, indicates Shakti. Shakti is energy. For all the feminine names, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Gauri, so E, Shakti is already present in Shiva. But this also made me think when we say woman, in the word woman itself, you have the word man. So it is only the energy of the great Shakti which makes the entire universe move as we experience it today. So, relating it in today's context, everybody talks of equality, which is very true, which has been shown earlier itself that there is no one is greater or no one is lower. Both are equal. Shiva and Shakti have to go equal as two wheels which have to work in unison so that the entire family remains happy and prosperous. Periva Sharanam. Thank you for watching the video. We'll meet again with the next episode, day 2 of Navratri tomorrow.